So I'm going to get started. My name is Annie, if you haven't met me before. I run Lighthouse Explorers, a group focused on maritime heritage and specifically lighthouses. And today I am focusing on 3 lighthouses for the price of 1, and that is of course the Tynemouth Lighthouses. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, then you might be aware that Trinity House looks after all of the lighthouses and a lot of the lighthouses in England, Wales, Gibraltar and the Channel Islands. Oh, hello Martin! So this unique thing about Tynemouth lighthouses, the Tynemouth Lighthouse on the North Pier, South Shields Lighthouse on the South Pier and the Herd Groin Lighthouse, is that all of them are looked after by the Port of Tyne Authority instead. So firstly we have Tynemouth Lighthouse, and this is the first time I've done something like this. I am hoping that you'll be able to see the writing. I've just realised it's very small, but I'll point regardless. So we have Tynemouth Lighthouse, which is here on the North Pier, and then we've got Herd Groin Lighthouse, I don't need to lean back as much as I am, which is just here in the mouth of the River Tyne, and South Shields Lighthouse, which is on the South Pier. So these 3 lighthouses mark the entrance to the River Tyne, and on this side is the North Sea if you're unfamiliar with the geography of the area. So why were lighthouses built here? The River Tyne was huge for trade in the Industrial Revolution. The northeast was huge for coal mining and coal production, and a lot of shipbuilding took place in the area as well. The River Tyne was is a fantastic river for trade. It's very wide and it's very deep, which meant that it was perfect for exporting all of the high quality coal which was being mined at the time. It's a dangerous entrance, so I've got a picture here. It's quite small, but there are these rocks called the Black Midden Rocks, which are present at the sides of the entrance of the river. So the lighthouses were needed to ensure that the lighthouses stayed in the deep channel in the centre of the river and didn't get ground on these rocks. I've included a picture of the Stanley shipwreck. The Stanley was a passenger ship which got grounded on the Black Midden Rocks in 1864. So these are the kind of incidents that they were trying to avoid by building the lighthouses. You need to guide ships safely in and out, not just to protect human life. This Stanley shipwreck caused the loss of life of about 20 or so people, but also to protect these high quality loads on the ships. So the coal, the new ships that have just been built, you don't want them being ground on the Black Midden Rocks, so the lighthouses were built. Starting off with Tynemouth Lighthouse. So Tynemouth Lighthouse, as I said before, is on the North Pier, and the original lighthouse actually dated back to 1664, so quite an early one, which was positioned in the Tynemouth Priory. In the 1890s, the South and North Pier were built along with lighthouses, but Tynemouth Lighthouse got destroyed a year or so later by a storm and then was rebuilt. The current lighthouse dates to 1908. The South Shields Lighthouse managed to get through that storm, and the original lighthouse still stands today, although it was battered by Storm Babbitt in 2023. It's 26 metres tall and it's visible over 20 nautical miles, and it's aligned with South Shields Lighthouse to get lighthouses through that deep water channel into the River Tyne. Next, my favourite, Herd Groin Lighthouse. It was built in 1882 and it's small, hexagonal, and it's got these cute little white shoes. I think it's adorable. It's only 11 metres tall and it's very iconic. If you know the brand Barbour, the clothing brand, they use this lighthouse on some of their clothing items because they come from the area. It's very sweet, so I've included this nice quote from Eleanor Dwyer, which I'm realising you can't read, but I'll read out to you. Lighthouses are not just stone, brick, metal and glass. There's a human story in every every light even. I thought that was a very nice quote about lighthouses, and it's perfect for a very sweet lighthouse like this. If you can't tell, I absolutely love this lighthouse. I think yeah, it really reminds me of the Icelandic lighthouse, which is small and bright yellow, but positioned in Tynemouth, so much easier for me to get to. What's not to love? And I won't say that this is a worse lighthouse, but the other Tynemouth lighthouse is South Shields Lighthouse. So this is on the South Pier, opposite the Tynemouth Lighthouse on the North Pier. So it was completed in 1895. It managed to survive the storm in 1896, which took the Tynemouth Lighthouse on the North Pier. Together, the two lights form a leading line for safe entry, and the South Pier is actually 1.5 metres long, so an extremely long pier. Currently closed, but I will get back onto that shortly. So why do you need 3 lighthouses in one spot? Self-explanatory. No, I'm kidding. So the Tynemouth and South Shields, as I've mentioned, were to guide the ships through the deep channel into the River Tyne, and then Herd Groin Lighthouse is used for alignment to get into the final harbour. So you've got this area here which you don't want to come aground on. It's the pleasure beach, so you don't want to completely destroy that or get ground on the Blackman rocks. So Herd Groin Lighthouse is to guide the ships through, so you can use it for alignment. So if you were coming in to the harbour from this angle, you know that you need this the Tynemouth Lighthouse on your right, the South Shields Lighthouse on port, and then straight ahead you've got the Herd Groin Lighthouse to make sure you get through the final part into the River Tyne. Now, as I mentioned, in October 2023, the northeast coast got battered by Storm Babbitt. I've got some fantastic photos here from Thomas Wright, and he's got moment by moment the South Shields Lighthouse being hit by this enormous wave which took its dome. It's got quite an iconic dome. I'll just go back to the picture of it to remind you. It had this lovely white and red dome here, so it's painted on each side, very sweet, and it got absolutely destroyed during the Storm Babbitt. There we go. This storm also affected the North Pier, so the North Pier had extensive damage, South Pier had extensive damage, South Shields Lighthouse had extensive damage. Saying that too many times is a bit of a tongue twister. And my lovely little Herd Groin Lighthouse also had extensive damage. Herd Groin Lighthouse was then renovated. It cost £250,000 to renovate it, and it's only just been completed in January of 2025. £100,000 of that came from the Barber Clothing Foundation. So because they use the Herd Groin Lighthouse within the logo of Barber, I guess they thought they might as well contribute to renovating it, so they spent £100,000 to get it back up and running, and it looks as good as ever now. Unfortunately for South Shields Lighthouse, it's not the case. So this is actually my final slide. I've rattled through these. I've included a news article from the Port of Tyne. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, Trinity House doesn't look after these lighthouses, the Port of Tyne Authority does. And the Port of Tyne is desperate at the moment for vandals and people going and terrorising their staff to please leave them alone. People have been going and shouting abuse at the people fixing up the South Pier. People have been going and vandalising the site, and it's really delayed the reopening of both piers and the lighthouse. The lighthouse, South Shields Lighthouse, does have its lantern back on now, so it's functional, but the piers are not open to the public. They were meant to be reopened, well, originally they were meant to be reopened, I believe, last year. Then it got pushed back, and now it's been pushed back again because they were meant to be reopened in July of 2025. I had scheduled the 10th Lighthouse Explorers group trip for August, but I don't think it's going to be a good idea because I don't think we're going to be able to go on the piers. Yeah. Why vandalise a lighthouse? Very good question. It's not the lighthouse itself, it's the piers. I think, yeah, people have just been messing around, and it's really slowed down the reopening of the piers. I don't know why they're doing it. As far as I can tell, because I did wonder if there was some political reasoning, or I was trying to find some justification for it. I think it might just be mindless vandalism. And yeah, with sorry, I'm gonna have to just scroll back through. There are a few really good questions. Are many lighthouses at risk now because of more intense storms? I think we're probably going to see a lot more lighthouses being affected by the storms. They're well built, and they're obviously built to withstand extreme weather. If I look at lighthouses, say like the Eddystone Lighthouse and Wolf Rock, they were built to withstand this type of these type of waves and weather. But we're going to, as the climate gets worse, we're going to be hit by more and more violent storms. I think the lighthouses are going to be at risk. I also think that the coastlines themselves, this isn't new to anyone, but as we have rising sea levels, the dangers that mariners need to avoid will change as well. Sandbanks are going to move a lot more with the worsened weather. Lighthouses might not be as useful. I think we're going to have, I mean, again, no surprise to anyone, we're going to have endless problems with the climate change. And that is pretty much all of my presentation. So in terms of looking to the future, hopefully the both piers will be reopened. Hopefully vandals will stop attacking them. They're actually, if you're looking for a job, they're looking to hire more security guards to protect the sites. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed they managed to sort out that problem and they reopen the piers, and then we'll go there on a group trip. Even if we don't manage to get on the piers, seeing Herd Groin Lighthouse, that beautiful little red structure, is well worth it. But anyway, thank you to everyone who's joined me today. I will keep you posted about future live talks like this one. Perhaps how to build a lighthouse should be the next talk. And yeah, I would also love to add lighthouse bodyguard to my CV. That sounds sick. Okay, thank you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.